Hello guys, how is everybody tonight? This is Natalie at Natalie Stamps, and I forgot to introduce myself last couple of weeks ago when I did my first Facebook Live. I am going to wait a little bit so that we can get everybody to jump on, but hopefully you had a great week. And I have a really fun project for you tonight. So I love that Stampin' Up! Has new colors that come and infuse our basic line with some new trendy colors. Every year we retire one set, and this year we have some really cool colors. And I'm going to be doing a project tonight with the new in colors. There's Magenta Madness, Just Jade, Bumblebee, Cinnamon Cider, and Misty Moonlight. They look really nice together and separate, and there's some really cool color combinations that I'll be playing with in the coming weeks of new and old colors. So there's a lot of really neat complementary combinations that I've been seeing everybody do and that I've been playing with. So that's going to be coming up. So those are the new in colors. And today we're going to be working with a new bundle, and it's called the Lovely You stamp set, and the Lovely Labels Pick-a-Punch. This is one of those really neat punches that you can do 6 actually different sizes. So it comes in the 1 inch, the 3/4 inch, and the 1/2 inch, and then you can actually combine them to create this really cool layered look. And there are 2 punch ends to choose from. So we're going to work with that tonight, and we are going to work with this stamp set, which is really neat. It's got a lot of great sentiments and some real cool stamped images. So here are all of the things that we're going to use, the stamping supplies tonight. We're going to create our own handmade DSP, as well as using the in-color DSP 6x6 packet. We'll also be using the original card that I made for this was on a Cinnamon Cider cardstock base, and I chose to make tonight's sample with Magenta Madness to show you can use the same technique, different colors, and it can create a totally different look. The base is going to be 4 1/4 by 11. So you're going to cut the paper lengthwise. So you're going to cut it down this way, and it's going to create a 1/2 sheet like this. And then we're going to score it at 2 inches and at 5 1/2. We're going to need our DSP, homemade DSP is going to be 4 inches by 3 1/4. My sheet's going to be a little bit bigger, and then I'm going to cut it down to size. Actually, that's the DSP size, sorry. And then the handmade DSP is just going to be 1 3/4. And I'm going to do that section much bigger so that I can use it I only have to make it once and I can use it for a couple of cards. Then the sentiment embellishment, I'm going to use vellum on the bottom. It's going to be 1 inch by 5.5. It's going to be a little smaller than that when we cut off the ends. Cinnamon cider is going to be 3/4 of an inch by 5.25, and the whisper white is going to be 1/2 inch by 5 inches. Now, let me tell you, when I cut my cardstock down and I use a 4-inch piece on a piece of 4.25 paper, when I cut those, I always have a 1/2 inch strip. I save those strips for things just like this. So this white strip here, I'm always going to use just the ends of my paper. So it's scrap stock. So this is a bonus. This is where you get to use that scrap stock right here in this wonderful new punch. So those are the measurements and these are the supplies. Here's my website for Stampin' Up! And my Facebook page. If you like my Facebook page, you will get a card idea a day. And if you comment underneath the Facebook Live, I will have a drawing tonight. And I'm going to be giving away some colorful twine. And I'm also going to be giving away glitter and clear epoxy shapes. So those are the 2 prizes for tonight. So make sure you comment. Tell me how I'm doing. I'm going to try to not turn away from the camera so that you can hear me. And hopefully this all goes well. So here goes. I'm going to be using the In Color epoxy dots, the colored dots as well. I didn't mention that, but we're going to be using the Magenta Madness, the Bumblebee, Moonlight, Misty Moonlight, and the Just Jade. We're going to be using some of the images from the Lovely You stamp set. One of the sentiments. All right. So I'm going to take a white Whisper White cardstock. And when you go to stamp a background paper, I always tell my customers that you should do things in 3s, sets of 3s. It makes the paper pattern more balanced. And so I always try and do it in triangles like that. So there's always a triangle being formed. And it just creates a sense of harmony. I go with the smallest and then the next size up. And I continue with each bigger image. And as the image gets bigger, I do less of them. I can always go back and do more in the white space that I don't like. But you can get a little too busy and you really can't go back and do less. So always better to do less at first and then go back in for more where you need it. I like to go off the page. I think it creates depth and dimension. And all right, so that is my paper, my homemade DSP, and you can do that with any small image. I'm going to take This is my chamois. It's not very pretty, but it works really well. It does get stained, but the chamois cloth is really awesome at taking off and wiping off your stamps and removing the ink. So you wet it. This is just a Chinese food container and comes really clean. So I'm going to clean my stamps really quickly. And I'm going to leave this out because I have one more thing to do. All right, so I'm going to set this one aside. And I'm going to take my paper. I'm going to fold it at the score lines. I'm going to take my bone folder and get really crisp, clean lines. And then I am going to take and I'm going to cut my paper. So I'm going to bring in my paper cutter and I'm going to cut this at 1 3/4. I'm going to bring in my DSP from the In Colors, and you can either do the polka dots or this kind of denim look. And I'm going to use our new Stampin' Seal. There's the Stampin' Seal and there's the Stampin' Seal Plus. This is for heavier projects, a little bit stronger adhesive. This is for everyday duty. So I'm going to try the polka dot side, and I'm going to adhere this to the front bottom of the card. I'm going to adhere this to the top fold flap of the card. All right. And then I'm going to bring in my pieces of paper. And I'm going to put Smile in the middle. I'm going to bring back our small stamp. And I'm going to do that after I punch it out. So I'm going to put this in and I'm going to turn it around so I can make sure that this is centered. Slide it in there. Make sure that it is centered. Okay, so see that? You can make it as long or as short as you want. All you have to do is cut these edges off if it's too long. And there you go. All right. So I've got all my pieces punched And I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal. And make these even. And then I'm going to only adhere it in the center where the smile is. So I'm going to put it backwards, and I'm going to just put adhesive right there. So that's the way the card opens up. You have all of this area right here to write in, and don't write in this area if you want to keep it nice for when the card is closed. And then I'm going to put just a small embellishment. So there's my card. Here it is in the cinnamon cider. So it's a little bit more masculine, I think, in the brown. And then I did some extra embellishments. I took the handmade paper and put it on the back with the regular DSP on the front. And then I put the remainder here and here. So those are some card ideas for you. I wanted to thank you guys for joining me. I wanted to also let you know that I have, oh, we forgot, let's see. I'm gonna take and put a couple of the dots in the flower center. All right, there you go. There's the card. I wanted to let you know that I'm doing a paper share. On Friday, I posted the 2 paper shares that I'll be doing. So if you're interested, please leave a comment and let me know that you would like to be involved in that. And I also am putting together an order. So if anybody needs anything and would like an order, please feel free to instant message me or email me at nataliestamps@aol.com. If you don't have a catalog or a demonstrator and you are in the US, I would love to send you one. Please let me know if I can help you with anything, and have a great night. Thanks for joining me.